Now, class, this is one of the most essential things that you need to do in uh, before before floating your survey questions. Again, surveys are not that you know easy to do because it talks about human behavior, preferences, perceptions. Now, in order for you to have a good construction of survey questions, a good design survey questions, you need to validate them. I remembered one paper that the panelists have questioned the survey question of the candidate for thesis. So essentially, hinanap ng mga panelists niya yung kung paano na-design yung questionnaire, paano na-float, paano na pilot test yung questionnaire niya. And unfortunately, it needs to be defended in paper. No, kailangan niyang isulat sa revision list niya. No? So I hope in the future hindi ito masilip ng mga panelists ninyo. No? Pero kung ako ang magiging panelist nyo, ito hahanapin ko. Ha? Because in the first semester, I will be I will not be teaching thesis anymore. You will expect me to be part of the panel. No? So I will look for this. No? Di basta-basta gumawa ng survey questions. Again, yung mga nakikita nyo ng questions na float, even my colleagues, pini-PM nila ako. No, yung mga colleagues ko, bakit ganito ang question ng estudyante mo? No, even my colleagues. No? So, before this lecture, you learned that there are certain steps in constructing the survey and what to do after constructing it. So, what to do after constructing it is you pilot test, you ask your friend to be a participant, administer the survey, and analyze and interpret the data. Kaya, huwag kayong mahiya sa mga i-on nyo nga yung iba na ceiling fan. Ikaw nga, Liza! Parang kala ko sira. You ask your friend to be the initial part of the respondents. No? Para makita lahat ng mali, even the clerical errors. Now, let's proceed with validation. Now, validation has so many steps to do. No, we have 9. No, bakit kasi nandiyan, Charlie? Hindi mo makita. We have 9. So first is content validity. Content validity, perhaps the simplest validation that you will do. Ensure the survey questions cover all aspects of the construct being measured. The second is review the questions to confirm they are relevant, clear, and comprehensive. And the third, seek input from experts in the field to assess the content validity of the questions. Now, in a survey question class, again, I need you to be aware that you should create your question, you construct it based on the constructs or the subtopics that you included in your conceptual framework, especially the conceptual framework part, no, the things that you need to measure. So for example, if you need to measure the perception of people as to their preference in color, you ask about color. Ah? Hindi yung design nga, tapos ang ipapakita mo na perception nila eh, irrelevant. For example, what are the things that are irrelevant to design? Mathematics, minsan. No? Proportion, sometimes they cannot appreciate proportion. No? So please, you design your questionnaires to be comprehensible to all. No, hindi lahat naiintindihan ang vocabulary ng architecture. Ha? No? Again, constructs are the ones that you need to verify, no, using measurable factors. You create the survey questions by themes, thematic. So my advice to my students most of the time, if they have three constructs inside the conceptual framework, they base their questions on the constructs. Paano ba tayo magkaintindihan dito? Angkap. Wala. William, nakikita mo tong part nito ng blackboard. This is the importance of having a good literature review in designing your conceptual frameworks. How is it that it is related to your research questions? Now, suppose that this is your project. This is your project, and you have three main considerations to make the project successful. Nakikita nyo to eh. Nakikita nyo to pag gumagawa ng conceptual framework? Hindi. O ngayon lang kayo makakita? Ngayon lang? Ngayon lang? Hindi. And in that project, you need three main factors. So for example, ano na ulit sa inyo, Shirley? Commercial building. Anong gagawin nyo? Bago? Bago? Kala ko renovation, rehabilitation. Bago? Now, for example, in a commercial complex, what are the things that we need to understand in a commercial complex? Now, this is the important thing about choosing the right literature review. Now, in a commercial complex, for example, you need to understand the concept of zoning. Zoning, a successful floor plan for its function, as well as green energy. Now, where does survey questions come here. Ito ang laging tinatanong sa mga estudyante. Bakit pinupuno niya ng terminology ang conceptual frameworks niyo? No? Kaya kawawa sila sa pag-defend ng title sila sometimes. No? Especially you, when you will proceed to thesis 1. No? Be careful. No? Kung pinuno niya ng words ang conceptual frameworks niyo, kawawa kayo. Now, where does survey questions come here? Papasok siya dito, sa side na to. Now, I always say to my students that you divide immediately your survey questions into 10 or 15, and then each section, each 5 sets of questions are related to zoning, function, and green energy. These are the constructs. No? These are the constructs. This could be measured after you have successfully floated your questionnaires. This could be measured based on the perception of people, the 15 questions. Paano siya ma-measure? Correlation. Isa yun. How it is related to zoning. Gaano siya kabigat yung factor na yun. So 15 or 10. Sometimes 3, 3, 4. Para konti lang yung consideration na ilalagay nyo. Now, in content validity, please, when you create the survey questions, make sure that that is related to the construct that you are doing. These are the construct. This is your main project. Naintindihan nyo? I hope so. Naintindihan nyo Ganyan gumawa ng questionnaire, hindi yung kalat-kalat. Conforme color susunod, ano yun? Green design. Huwag ganon. You make sure that your questionnaires are organized. No? Are organized and section. Thematized. Yan na naman tayo unang factor pa lang. Daming explanation na. Second, you ask your friend. Review the questions to confirm they are relevant, clear, and comprehensive. Kung sasabihan kayo ng mama ninyo, alimbawa kay mama nyo na binigay, ma, ikaw na lang mag-review nitong ko. Tapos hindi niya maintindihan, ay, may problema ka. No, you have a problem. Even your mother cannot understand what you are floating. No? And then the third, seek input from experts. So, sinong mga experts dito sa St. Louis? Hindi ako expert, no? Punta kayo sa URDC. You can go to URDC. University Research and Development Center. I cannot say na expert kasi ako, no? And you ask scholars that are authoritative in this kind of methodology in research, no? Surveys. The second is content validity. Phase validity pala. Phase validity is to evaluate the survey questions to determine if they appear to measure what they are intended to measure. Second is conduct pilot testing to small sample to assess if respondents understand and interpret the questions as intended. Again, it is similar to content validity. Sa content lang. Sa phase validity, you are trying to test na meron ka ng steps to do it. So paano yan? For example, if you try to pilot test it in 10 of your classmates, it seems that they are agreeing with your design of your instrument, that is the survey questions. Halimbawa, In St. Louis, paano ba? How can I describe St. Louis? Mahirap kasi yun na naka-record tayo eh. May na nagsusumbong. Ano ba? St. Louis, let's say that you are asking them the how green St. Louis is as to landscape, no landscaping. Tinanong mong 10 mong kaklase, mostly na sumagot, strongly disagree. Hindi mapuno ang St. Louis. Strongly disagree. Totoo ba 'yun? Totoo ba na hindi tayo mapuno? Strongly disagree. Tinanong mo kung gaano ka-green ang St. Louis as to foliage, as to plants. Ganun ba? Strongly disagree. Ramdam nyo ba ang shading sa St. Louis? Ramdam nyo? Ganun. Hindi kayo naiinitan pag lumalabas kayo? Naiinitan? But as to the, itong mga green-green, anong perception nyo dyan? Mag-agree ba kayo kung tinanong ko kayo na mapuno tayo? Mapuno. Maraming puno. Mag-agree ba kayo? No? Mapuno. Mapuno. Will you agree? So those are, sa face validity, doon yung makikita. Kaya, in other researches, in survey questions, sometimes dinidefend ulit yan. No? Halimbawa, nakakita ng panelist mo na hindi mo nagawa, hindi ka nag-face validity, ipapaulit nila sa'yo yung survey. No? That's the difficult part. Masakit sa banks. Third is construct validity. Construct validity is what you will do is confirm that the SQ accurately measure the underlying construct or concept and use established theories or previous research to support the relationship between the questions and the construct. Naiintindihan nyo ba to? Hindi. In construct validity, I showed you an introduction to construct validity. Now, paano ko nalaman na correct yung ganyan na model? You try to find literature that proves that that model is correct. No? It is not plagiarism. You can base to other works, to other existing works, how they created the constructs. Naiintindihan nyo ang construct? No? Naiintindihan nyo? Sa Tagalog, invento ninyo na factor. Invento ninyo na factor. No? Gawa-gawa nyo na factor. Pero yung factor na yun, alam nyong makaka-apekto dun sa project ninyo. No? Kaya siya construct. After niya kasi na-filter yung responses, after it filtered the responses here, it will measure also its effect to the project. So sometimes, dito papasok ang H1, H2, H0, H1, H2 ninyo. Yung hypothesis ninyo. Nakatatandaan nyo pa yun, hindi na. Natandaan nyo pa yun, hindi na. Halimbawa, ang hypothesis nyo dito, zoning directly affects the project. Zoning directly affects the marketplace. Ganon. Naintindihan niyo ako? The construct again is, kung sa Tagalog, para sa akin how I understand it, invento nyo na terminology yan. Invento nyo na factor yan. Para ma-measure kung alin sa tatlo na to ang may epekto dito sa project ninyo. Okay? Nagkataong lahat yan may direct effect. Di ba ganda? Very good. Dami niyong gagawin. No? And if on those questions 1 to 5, dalawa sa kanila ang pumasa sa correlation, papasok sa zoning, yan lang ang i-shoot ninyo. Yan lang ang i-shoot ninyo na factor. No? Naintindihan niyo ako? I hope so, ha? So, ganun ang construct validity. No? Also, use established theories. That's why it is important for you to conduct a good literature review. Ha? No, hindi to plagiarism. You base it on established theories. Paano ba? Maghanap kayo ng pasok kayo sa mga journal na about structural equation modeling. Yun. Magandang references yun. No? Terminology pa lang, nakakatakot na, no? Structure. Ano, Liza? Walang limit ang pag-construct ng factors. But, you make sure that it is academically defensible. You make sure that it is academically defensible. Ito ang pinag-aawayan ng mga magkakagrupo eh. Alam nyo kung paano nagsisimulang mag-away? Tapos na yung PowerPoint, ganun. Tapos biglang may siningit na bagong factor. Huwag niyong gawin yun. When you will do your conceptual frameworks like this, please, you base it on literature. You base it on existing literature. And if you will base it on existing literature, include nyo naman dito ang conceptual framework. Conceptual framework based on Bongolan 2023. Ganyan. It's not bad to cite existing papers for you to model your conceptual frameworks. Okay? Clear? I hope so. Yes kayo, ha? Yan na naman kayo eh. Number 5. Number 5 sana. Number 5 pala. Convergent and discriminant validity. First you will do is check for the convergent validity by examining if SQs should be related to each other are indeed correlated. Check for convergent validity by examining if SQ should be related to each other are indeed correlated. Naintindihan nyo to? Naintindihan nyo? Again, you base it on literature and you design your survey question that is directly connected with the construct and is correlated. For example, perception on interior space. No, perception interior space. Alangan naman maglagay ka ng ng solar energy dun. No? Perception of interior space, maglalagay ka solar energy. No? Yung directly correlated, like color, daylighting, furniture, texture, pattern. Yung directly correlated. Okay? Huwag kayong mag-imbento, please. Second, verify discriminant validity by ensuring that SQ should not be related to each other, have low correlations. Now, I showed you an example of correlational research before. No? Nag-model ba ako dito ng correlation noon? Hindi. Yung SPSS, yung nag-run ng correlation tapos nagbanggaan yung yung factors. Hindi. Ay, hindi. Ay, kabilang set. Hindi ako nagpakita dito ng sample. Ay, hindi. Yung SPSS. Ay, meron yun. Yung nag-error sa kabilang set. Dito hindi. Wala. Correlations class, kung low correlation yan, ibig sabihin hindi, meron silang relationship, but hindi strong. No? Hindi statistically significant. No, verify them. 6 is reliability. So we talk about internal consistency here, and conduct test or retest reliability to determine the stability of responses over time. No? Hindi yung may tumatalsik, no? Tumatalsik na responses. You test its reliability. So pwede niyong gamitin ang Cronbach's alpha and other reliability tests. Pilot testing, na ano ko na yan, na banggit ko na before. The 8 is response bias. Itong malala, no? Sa response bias. So you try to minimize the bias, class. Paano ba nangyayari na mayroong bias sa questions ninyo? For example, sinadya ninyo na ang questions na to para lang sa mga technical people. Pero kung ganun nga, you include it in your methodology. But when it comes to response bias, please make sure that all can respond to it without subjective. Pero may subjective nature siya, pero ibaba nyo. Paano nyo ba i-measure yung biases ng responses? For example, magtatanong ka about sa market. Alam mo na ngang mabaho, wet market, tatanungin mo pa. No? You minimize the response bias. Hindi ganon yung pag-design nyo ng questionnaire. What do you think? For example, sa questionnaire, what do you think will help the design in lessening the foul smell inside a market? Ganon. Hindi yung, does the market smell bad? Yes, agad. No? So, you minimize, you lessen the bias. No? You lessen the bias. I think kailangan i-require ang survey question sa inyo this semester. Kaya nyo naman na. Hanggang questionnaire tayo, ha? O bakit ba naman? Dami niyong reklamo. Haba pa ng term. May 8 weeks pa tayo. No, Bam? Ngumingiti na lang si Bam, na individual. Okay? Wag ganon. And, again, ensure the anonymity of the respondents. No? Itago nyo sila. Especially if your study entails some sensitive materials. No? For example, mental health issues. Sa bagay, wala namang mental health facility ngayon. But, in the case of Emil Ramos, his study is about a rehabilitation center for orthopedic patients. Yun. Kailangan ng anonymity dun. No? The ninth is perhaps one of the most sensitive is translation and cultural adaptation. No? If the survey will be administered in multiple languages or cultural contexts, ensure that questions are accurately translated and culturally adapted. Class, if your population or survey population does not speak in English fluently, huwag naman kayong mag-survey ng puro na English. You may include ah, you may include the translated version. Close and open parentheses. Meron nga nun, nagkamali siya ng translation, no? In the community sa kanya sa English. Nung binasa ko, bakit kaharian to? Ako sa kanya. Community yung ita-translate niya, naging kaharian. So please, be careful. Class, nagbabasa ako ng manuscript. No? Huling-huli ko. No? Huling-huli ko ang mga ganun. No? So please, be careful on translating terminologies. And some questionnaires can be translated in Iloco or Ilocano. Iloco is the correct term. Ilocano is the person. Iloco. Pero for the sake of discussion, Ilocano na lang. No? For the sake of discussion. Iloco is the language. Ilocano is the person. It's the people. Kaangwa kayo. No? If you want to translate, please, you ask the elders or you ask an academic. No? Sir, tama ba itong pag-translate ko? Ganun. No? Sa Itawit, ang term namin kasi ang term ng Ilocano sa translation is, mangipatarus. Mangipatarus. Sa Ibanag at Itawit, mangibalittag. Ang term namin sa translation itself. No? Yung survey ko nga Itawit English Itawit. No? May mga ganun. Merong English Ibanag, English Tagalog, English Ilocano. No? Alin sa mga sumusunod, talaga. Parang pisara, no? Para ka namang pisara. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang nagpapakita ng magandang kulay para sa isang ospital, ganon. Para sa isang palengke, ganon. No? Pero wag naman yung masyadong talinhaga, no? Masyadong poetic Tagalog, no? No? Ano? Tingnan. Ano na yun? Ano ba yung ibang mga term na kakaiba? Babala. Sa mga sumusunod na larawan po talaga. Kadagiti sumarunong nga ladladawan. Kadagiti lamina. Lamina. Imbes na kwarto, sana yung tanong silid. Silid. Ilocano, silid. Anya dagiti silid nga kayat mo nga ganon. Kayat mo nga iraman iti daytoy nga patakder ganon. So, yung mga yon. But please be sensitive to the culture of people, no? Again, nagbabasa ako ng manuscript, hindi ako napapagod. I can read the entire paper, kamo sa inyo kahit 40 pages, isang upuan lang. Hindi ako nag-exaggerate. No? So, yun nga. Please be careful in translation. Now, the second is conduct back translation and cognitive interviews to confirm the equivalence of survey questions across languages. Pagka nagawa nyo yung survey questions, tanungin nyo yung nakakaintindi ng translation ninyo. No? It is costly to hire a translator, no? But it helps if you have a consultant. Okay ba? May tanong? So yan lang naman, 9 stages lang. So if you will manage to complete the questionnaires in RM, you may try to test it during the summer, no? Pagka OJT ninyo, try nyo nang i-test. Okay? Kasi sa thesis 1, kawawa kayo pagka i-conduct nyo na ang survey ninyo. No? Do you have any questions? May tanong? May tanong? Tanong, wala? Para mag-proceed na tayo sa next na topic. Better. Actually, most of these are missing in thesis. Ayoko lang sabihin. Kasi syempre, kinawawa ako ng estudyante pag gano'n. In my master's thesis kasi, purposive sampling kasi yun. So, kahit pa magtanong ako sa respondent ko, nagkukwento, dire-diretso magkwento. No, hindi niya sasagutin ng diretso yung tanong. No? No? Kaya, case-to-case basis, but especially in survey research. Your thesis is survey research. No, your client is essentially the respondent. So sa 400 na respondent na 'yan, ano ang collective na perception nila? Okay? Nai-imagine niyo na kung anong gagawin niyo? No, nai-imagine niyo na the magnitude kung gaano in scale 1 to 10. Na-imagine nyo na ba ang gagawin nyo sa thesis 1? May design pa kayo sa thesis 1. Magpa-preliminary design pa kayo. That's why ayoko na magyewang pero ang dami nagtatanong sa akin sa stage na to. Thesis 1. No? So kung sa thesis 1 meron pa ako sa St. Louis, yan, na-record na naman. Halimbawa, dito pa ako, you may ask me anytime, no? Kung paano gawin tong ito. Tama si Mr. Carosus. Kailangan to actually na ilagay sa manuscript ninyo hangga't maaari. No? Hindi lang ako nagsasalita about this. Kasi yun nga, kawawa ng estudyante pagka hanapan mo pa ng ganyan. Okay? I know that they did it. Hindi lang naisulat. No? Wala nang tanong? Wala? Okay, let's proceed. Let's conduct the survey. Okay, let's conduct the survey. Your goal in the survey is to ensure collection of accurate and reliable data. Pakiusap, class. Huwag nyo namang tanungin yung mga friends nyo na gumawa ng 10 email para mag-respond sa ano nyo, survey ninyo. Huwag naman ganun accurate and reliable data. And yung goal natin sa survey kasi, researchers can ensure a systematic and rigorous approach to data collection and analysis, leading to valuable insights and informed decision making. The last two phrases or the last phrase will tell you the importance of survey. No? Valuable insights and informed decision making. When we say valuable insights class, these are the things that you can understand from the responses of your respondents. Especially if the survey question is talking about perceptions and measured open-ended questions by open-ended questions. Maraming ganyan eh. Maganda magsulat pagka open-ended question. Because you can now process it. Eh. You can now process it using AI and softwares. Open-ended questions. I showed you an example. Yung orange data mining. Natatandaan nyo pa yun? Yung orange? Hindi. Yun ang example ng pag-process natin ng open-ended questions. No? Diba nagtanong ako sa inyo, tapos tinype-type ninyo yung sagot nyo. Yun. Open-ended questions yun. No? Especially open-ended questions, we can gain insights. The collective nature of the responses. And of course, informed decision making. What do we mean by informed decision making? We are not deciding a certain policy, we are not creating a certain policy based on our judgment, our subjective judgment. Ibig sabihin, meron kang solid evidence that will support the policy, that will support your design. Yun ang informed decision making. Okay? Clear ba tayo dito? Kaya nga minsan di ako nagrereklamo sa mga policies ng St. Louis. No, mga bagong policy ganun. Because sometimes those policies are based on surveys, based on sentiments. No? Sentiment of people. Even students, they can give their sentiments. Yun nga yung importance ng anonymity eh. Hindi mo ipapakita yung pangalan ng mga respondents mo, but even so, their comments are valuable. No? Marirealize nyo to pagka may client na kayo. No? Ganun naman ang normal na design process eh. Tatanungin mo ang client mo kung anong gusto niya, ikaw magpo-process ng data na sinabi ng client. No? Architect ko talaga, naka-ready na yung mga screenshot niya sa Pinterest, ready na. Architect, design mo nga itong bahay namin na ganito. Pero Chinese ako, ha? Mga ganun. Combine mo yung cultural factor tapos yung nakita niya sa Pinterest, no? Pero Chinese ako, ha. Okay lang naman na kahit 10 million yung bahay ko basta makanda at saka swerte, ganun. So those things, no? That is your goal in doing a survey. Even the client as a family, yun ang mahirap i-design. No? But on your case in thesis 1, collective kasi. collective. So, sa 400 na yan na respondents, ano ang lilitaw na data that will support your thesis? No? That's why I always emphasize to my students that thesis, your results in thesis is backed up by data. It is backed up by information. Hindi yung naglagay ka ng pattern ng flower dyan, culturally inappropriate dun sa area. Saan mo nakuha yun? Wala naman sa sinabi ng mga respondent yun. No? Flower pattern, flower pattern, wala naman sa suggestion ng mga respondents nyo. Okay? Now, again, in conducting a survey, first you define the survey objectives. Very clear to, no? Kahit hindi ko na i-explain, ito yung objective nyo. Meron kayong objective, meron kayong purpose in doing the study. No? You outline the research goals, no? And determine the target population and sample size. Lalabas na naman dito ang Sloven's formula. So for example, pagka na kompleto nyo na, nalinis nyo na yung instrument nyo, yung survey instrument niyo, that is the survey questionnaires, pagka nalinis nyo na yan, you determine the sample size. Okay? The sample size. When we talk about the sample size, it talks about the portion of the population that will represent the population. The portion na magre-represent sa population. So, ito sana yung population ninyo. Ito sana. Ito yung magre-represent ng population. Ito yung sample ninyo. And this is the population. Okay? So again, babalik tayo kay Sloven's formula dyan. Clear tayo dito? Okay. Second is select the survey method. Tapos mo na, no? Tapos mo na yung instrument. Ano yung method mo in floating it? So, in floating it or in distributing the survey, please identify it immediately in the methodology if it is purely online, purely face-to-face, purely telephone, or combined. Combined. Pwede yun. No? Naawa nga ako sa mga estudyante ko. Kilala nyo sila Kim? Bumatay. Kilala nyo? Sila Eman ba yun? Si Emerald. Yung ginawa nila face-to-face na nag-survey. No, ganyan kakapat. Print nila. No, isa-isa. Pero I commend their effort. Kasi nga, solid eh. Solid yung survey nila eh. No? So, yun nga. Na-imagine nyo na kung anong gagawin nyo sa thesis. No? Also, consider your budget. No? Consider your budget, your timeline, and accessibility to the target population. Ito ang concern ng karamihan sa inyo. Ang layo ng site namin, sir. Ganun. Layo. No? Consider your timeline. Hanggat maaari, i-outline ninyo kung anong gagawin nyo. So, for example, sino dito malalayong site? Sino ang pinakamalayong site dito? Sino? Sino? Na-approve na? Saan sa Ilocos? Sur. Ah, parang pumuntang Manila si... Sino yun? Si Daprosa. Afu, parang pumuntang Manila na din ah. Ilocos Sur. Ah, taga doon? Okay. For example, Ilocos Sur. You consider your budget, your timeline, your accessibility to the target population. Ganito ang gawin nyo. Para makatipid kayo, class. In any location, gumawa kayo, kaya nga kailangan yung journal nyo eh. Gumawa kayo ng plano dyan kung anong gagawin nyo sa area na yan pagka dumating na kayo. Hindi lang magpo-photo, magpipicture ng site. Kasi expected yun sa inyo ngayon. You do the site visit ngayong term eh. When you do your site visit, after you do your site visit, alangan naman pansi-pansit kayo, ganun. Punta kayo sa mga key locations na pagkukunan nyo ng mga information like tourism offices, the city hall, isabay nyo para hindi sayang yung pagod nyo, pamasahin ninyo. Sayang. No? Iplano ninyo. You make a timeline. Kaya nga, in 2021, my friend from the University of the Philippines, si Dr. Grace Barreto Tesoro, she is a scientist in UP. Nung nag-conference kami nung August, nag-present ako ng paper sa UP. Nag-conference kami 2021. October, nag-email na. Mag-survey kami sa Cagayan Valley, sabi nila. In those exchange of information, ang habang email yan, dire-diretso, habang email. Paano ipaplano yung itinerary? You know the result of our study, ang dami naming napuntahan na site. 40 plus yata yun, 30 plus. 40 plus, 30 plus, or basta sobrang daming buildings. No? Mga ruins, no? Nakahanap pa nga kami ng pottery shards eh. Mga Chinese porcelains eh. Nakahanap pa kami. No? So in those exchange of communications from 2021 dumating sila October 2021 na plano na nagsimula nang mag-take into effect yung plano mga February, March, April, May. Yun, tuloy-tuloy yung communication on how to plan the itinerary. Galing silang Quezon City, galing sa UP eh. Kailangan nilang mag-travel at i-maximize yung lahat ng pwedeng mapuntahan. No, isang araw nga, makatatlong taon kami, ganun, ng survey. No, isang buong week yan, noong 2022. No, that is the importance of planning your visit. Ilan kami? We have Dr. Neri, Dr. Tesoro, si Mark Mabanag from US, no? Pero nag-transfer siya sa Philippines. Ako, si Kevin, si Miss Leasing, mga driver, ito, photographer, mga 10 kami. Imagine the logistics. Imagine the logistics that is involved. Pati pera, no? So, sa level ng mga scientists, kailangan magtipid. Alangan naman, pupunta ka ng isang site, babalik kang Manila na naman, tapos lagari yung mangyayari, hindi ganun. Isang pasadahan lang. No? So sa inyo, in your case, bachelor's level, in your level, you maximize your time. Okay? The third is After you completed the instrument, i-design niyo daw dito. Design yung survey instrument. And then after completing it, you recruit participants. Especially in the field of psychology, when they recruit participants, kailangan talaga ng informed consent. No? Wag yung kalimutan yun ha. Especially si Andre. Andre, special case ba yung sa inyo? Itawid community yun? Sa housing na lang. Hindi na siya culturally sensitive. Sino ang culturally sensitive ang ano dito? Ang sample population. You need to prepare an informed consent. Sino dito? Wala? Magsabi na kayo, huwag kayong matakot. Sino? Wala? Very good. Ano? Kasi magdi-disclaimer lang naman kayo pagka magso-survey kayo. Di-disclaimer tapos ilalagay ninyo na yung Data Privacy Act, no? Pero kung informed consent, ibang usapan na 'to, no? Sino sa inyo? Wala? Wala wala. Very good. So pagka mag-recruit kayo, huwag niyong kalimutan ng ethics, no? Ethics. Last slide na to, no? Administer the survey. Huwag niyo namang hayaan yung survey ninyo, no? Pabayaan. I-distribute ninyo, but again, after distributing it, you monitor the progress. I-refresh nyo lagi. No? In administering the survey class, please, when you locate your population, for example, in Peña Blanca only or in, saan yung Andre? Piat? For example, in Piat, if the survey is located in Piat, the respondents preferably is from Piat. Sample population. Ilan ang population ng Piat ngayon? 20,000? Ilan? Or 10 lang? Try mo nga. Tignan. Ilan, Andre? Tignan nga natin kung anong i-expect namin sa inyo. Sa Piat na respondent. Ilan? Kaya dito na-stress si Waki nung estudyante ko siya eh. Merong sumagot sa survey ng may jowa. Tapos sabi niya, bakit, sir, paano ko gagawin to? Mamaya ilalagay natin diyan sa collect and clean data, no? Ilan, Andre? Estimate. 25K? N is equal to 25,000 divided by 1 plus 25,000 times 0.05 squared. Sino ang may calculator dyan na scientific? Kunin nyo nga ang sample population nito. Will you look at it? If you have a calculator. Ilan yan? Ilan? Ilan? 0.05 is the margin of error. Ilan? 390.7? 393.7. So your sample would be 394 respondents. Ito yung target yun ng sample. The population and the sample. Ilan nung mali siya? Oo. I-try natin. Paano kung 143,000? Kayo naman, OA nyo, nag-imagine na naman kayo. Proportional yan. Kayo naman, OA nyo. Dahil ba ganyan, di times 4 mo yan. Times 5. Hindi mo ito times 5 yan. Proportional tong formula. Kayo naman, mag-overthink na naman kayo. Ilan to? Baka to kay garaw naman yan. 398 point. 88, 399. Sundan nyo to. Sundan nyo ni Sloven's form. Proportional yan. Kayo naman. Hindi exponential. Hindi porke 25K versus 143. I-times 5 mo rin. Hindi ganun ganito ang Sloven's. Kita nyo to Small letter n is the sample. The capital letter N is the population of the sample. Divided by 1 plus capital letter N margin of error squared. E squared. Margin of error squared. Bakit natin kailangan margin of error? Yung confidence level niya kasi. For example, kung gusto nyo maging sensitive yung level niya, halimbawa 99% sure ka dun sa data mo, sa sample mo. Di gawin mong 0.01 to. 1% 99% versus tapos yung 1% niya yung ilalagay mo dito. For example, 143K yung yung sample nyo divided by 1 plus 143K times 0.01 squared. Ilan to? Ilan niya? Ilan niya? Lalaki yan. Ilan yan? Lalaki ang sample ko dyan. Ilan yan? Ito, 143, 0.01 squared. Ilan? 340. 9,000 gusto niya yan? Gusto niya ang 99% confidence level? Gusto niya 5% pa. Sometimes mga estudyante yung nakakaya nila 10%. Kaya 0.1 squared. 0.1 squared. Siguro hindi applicable kasi yan na sampling pagka malaki yung population. Okay? Clear? Yes, kayo Alam niyo na kung ano sa magiging exam nyo. No? Ah? Number 6 is collect and clean data. Again, pagka ina-administer nyo, mapapansin nyo may mga respondent na conforme ang sinasagot. No? Taylor Swift, ganun. Nahuli ko nga yung isa kong estudyante na Taylor Swift ang nilagay. Kilala ko naman, doon yung email niya, o kitang-kita mo yung email niya. No? No? Gather and compile it into a data set. Ito yung kagandahan pagka Google Form. Agad-agad niyang exportable siya into Excel. Hindi mo na kailangang i-encode isa-isa. No? Kasi kung, oh my God, kasi kung face-to-face na papel yung ginawa mo, sa isahin mo mag-encode yan. Lahat ng response nila. Question 1. Yan lang. Nakakita na ako ng ganun ng colleague ko. Sinisa-isa niya. Check for missing or incomplete responses and clean the data accordingly. Code open-ended responses for analysis. So, babalik tayo sa qualitative dito. No? Pagka naglagay kayo ng open-ended question. Kaya quantitative plus qualitative sometimes ang survey. Okay? Clear? 7th is analyze the survey data. Use appropriate statistical techniques. No, ito yung second part ng ano natin. Second part o pang fifth part siguro ng lecture ng quantitative. Yung statistical analysis. Okay? Okay, matakot sa madali lang naman, no? Sa statistics. Interpret the results in relation to the research objectives. Prepare visuals or reports to present findings. Yan yung pagka-analyzing the data. Pagka preparation of visuals, we are talking about histogram, ganon. Histogram, pie chart, ganon. Graph, ganon. So that is analyzing the data. 8 is to report and disseminate results. And 9 is evaluate the survey process. So, pagka-reporting, i-report nyo na kung ano ang significance ng ganitong factors, significance ng ganitong questions. Gugulat ka na lang. Directly related yung response sa project mo. No? And the 9th is ask for feedback again. Okay? So, in order for us to have a good research, defensible research, sundan nyo ang process ng survey. Okay? Sundan nyo yan. Pakiusap. Kahit ito lang ang masunod nyo. Ay, hindi naman. Kahit lahat pala. Pakiusap. No? May tanong? Wala.